In any type of practical initiation work, one of the first things that you need to become aware of is that we're surrounded by non-physical beings, and they're actually communicating with us all the time. However, if we're not developed to the point that we can receive those communications fully consciously, then those communications will then enter into our structure according to our present level of development. Meaning that, for example, if you're not fully conscious at the areas above the head, you will not be able to receive what we refer to as packed thought forms, or highly compressed information in the way that angelic beings would communicate with one another. It is possible to develop that capacity, but most human beings do not have it currently. If we are not fully conscious in receiving these communications in our thinking faculties, then we will not be fully conscious as far as conceptual clarity about the information that we're receiving. What will usually happen then is that the communication then will either activate our feeling life or will activate our will life. And so our feelings will then get activated with emotional movements for us to take particular types of actions based on the influence from the spiritual beings, or it will go directly into the will. And so, for example, you might ask a person, why did you come to this class? Or why did you move to this place? And they may say, I really have no idea why, I just knew I had to be there. I knew I had to do that thing. And that's usually a sign that the impulse from the spiritual being went straight into the will and was not able to be received fully consciously at the higher centers. So there's a complete process of developing these centers and being able to be conscious of the presence and communications of spiritual beings. If we do not take in the impulses from the spiritual beings fully consciously, then in addition to the fact of it will then go into other centers of our development that are not quite as conscious, it can actually sometimes take on pathological forms. So there's actually a type of spiritual imperative at this moment in human development for us to actually become conscious of communication with spiritual beings. If it doesn't happen, then certain pathological forms of the impulses they're trying to bring us will become more prominent in the world. And this has always been the case in human development. At certain points in certain time cycles, there will be certain forward movements in human evolution and human consciousness that if they're not taken up fully consciously, then again, various pathological forms of those impulses will manifest in their